notes today, baby, because we talk about that money. Let's go ahead and talk about the facts, and then I'm going to give you my commentary and my opinions about what John Harbaugh requirements are in order to be a coach on the Cleveland Browns or any other team that's going to pay for his services. So let's go ahead and go over these facts real quick. So if you don't know, John Harbaugh, yes, a very, very, very well-known coach associated with the Ravens, who's had very good success with the Ravens, is fired maybe a couple days after Kevin Stefanski was, but even he was shocked. It may be a silver lining in this. Of course, we're going to follow this story a little bit more, but let me go ahead and go ahead and discuss some of these requirements that he wants from the new team that's going to hire him. I'm referring to my notes today. Yeah, we're going to do that today. All right, he's asking for $20 million annual salary. As of now, he's making roughly about 16 to 17 million. So really, he's only asking for $3 million more than his current salary. And the Ravens, since they fired him, they still owe $34 million on his current contract. So John Harbaugh, who's only 63, he's gonna be rolling in that money. He's rolling in that money. I don't blame him. Andy Reid is almost 75, 80 years old. So I guess John Harbaugh said, I can go as long as Andy Reid because he planned on making Andy Reid money. So we shall see. Considering his age and everything, 63 is young. So he planned on stacking that money for his generation, next generation, next generation, next generation. And especially if you're worth it, give it to him. Okay. So yes, what I'm saying is I think that John Harbaugh is the best for the Cleveland Browns for a lot of reasons. Now, one of his demands I don't like, but I'm going to get to that at the end of this list. Now, I do like him because let's just put it out there. I put it out in my video yesterday. John Harbaugh wanted Shedeur Sanders last year in the NFL draft. Remember the story came out that Shedeur Sanders declined the Ravens and the Eagles last year because he wanted to exercise the best path forward as being QB1. As we see, it all worked out. God worked that out for Shedeur Sanders. Now, if John Harbaugh and Shedeur Sanders link up, that means John Harbaugh got what he want a year later, and that means Shedeur Sanders got what he want in 9 months. I really think this is going to work out. I really think how this is lining up. John, because he's going to get the quarterback that he wants, and Shedeur Sanders is going to get a coach that's going to have his best effort in mind. John Harbaugh, of course, he's worked with Lamar Jackson, also worked with Ray Lewis. I've never heard of nobody speaking negative on John Harbaugh. And I plan on pinging LaJohntay Webster in the background to see what's his opinion on John Harbaugh. I sure am. Some of the other requirements is he's asking for a $10 million coaching budget for his coaches. Now, one of my sources says that is definitely high. That is definitely high for any NFL coaching staff budget. As of now, there's no team in the NFL that has that number associated with their coaching staff budget. But we shall see. Maybe the Cleveland Browns will give it to him. Or maybe he's asking for more than he actually needs just to see if the Cleveland Browns will give him that money. But hey, if I was the Cleveland Browns, I would negotiate that. Definitely negotiate that. I'll say, okay, for the first 2 years, I'm gonna give you a budget of $8 million, which is mid-tier. That's the standard budget as of now in the NFL. And once he starts producing, I go ahead and increase his coaching budget once he starts giving me those results that I want as an organization. All right, Andrew Barry, Jimmy Haslam, I'm helping you out. Go ahead and send my invoice. Matter of fact, I'll be sending you my invoice and go ahead and send me my coins. Okay, I'm helping you out right now. All right, another thing he wants 100% authority over the 53-man roster. I would say as long as Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback, give it to him, okay? Give it to him. Now, this is the one I may have an issue with. He wants to select his own GM if he's hired for any team. Now, I can see the Giants giving into that. I can see the Falcons giving into that. I can see the Dolphins giving into that. But I want Andrew Barry in that seat as general manager. This was the only condition that I had an issue with. Because who is he going to bring in? But I want Andrew Barry still in that seat because he did look out for Shedeur. He deserves to be the general manager at least for another year, 2 years. And after that, Cleveland Browns, if you want to come back to that condition, I would say in the next 2 or 3 years after Harbaugh has been there. Okay, but put that as a condition in his contract. If you do hire Harbaugh, we're going to say, hey, you're a new coach coming in. Hey, we understand your resume. But we still like Andrew Barry. And with that being the case, has compromised. You come in, Andrew Barry stays the general manager for the next 2 years. And after that, we will reconsider, because even Andrew Berry said everyone in the organization now will have an annual evaluation. So I think that's fair for both parties. Now, John Harbaugh can come back and say, okay, well, I agree to that condition. But if I get the Cleveland Browns, let's say, to the playoff games, my first year, you got to let me hire my own GM manager. And the Cleveland Browns, they should do that. They should do that, especially if Jim Harbaugh get them to the first round of the playoffs. Not the wild card game, the playoffs. It's levels to this now. In corporate America, it's levels to this thing. You can negotiate at any level that you want to. So Cleveland Browns, I'll say go ahead and still hire John Harbaugh. Go ahead and give him that $20 million. He's worth it. The only coach in the NFL now that's making that money is Andy Reid. I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid is the only one that gave Michael Vick an opportunity when Michael Vick was in that situation. And Reid, before Michael Vick was released, Andy Reid went to the prison. He visited Michael Vick. And when Michael Vick got released, Andy Reid rolled up there in a limo and picked him up. So I will always love Andy Reid. But Cleveland Browns, if you gambled on Deshaun Watson and gave him that money, which I think if the Cleveland Browns does not give John Harbaugh that money, they're probably looking at the financial responsibilities they have on the books this year. And Deshaun Watson got an $80 million salary this year. Now, Drew Berry did say, remember, I played in another video, that they have the cap to go out and get that O-line that they need. So the money is coming from somewhere. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. I'm referring to my notes today, baby, because we talk about that money. Yeah, we talking about that today. I got my notes. You can't play with that money, baby. You got to know where every penny and every dollar is going. Hey, that's how you budget for success. But let me go ahead and tell you this right here. Harbaugh has won 1 Super Bowl, 12 playoffs, and 6 division titles. I think he's worth it. I really think he's worth it. And when it comes to money, you can negotiate monies. You can put conditionals in contracts. People do this all the time. I say, go ahead, Cleveland Browns. Jimmy Haslam, if you want to be the new Jerry Jones of the NFL, go ahead and push all these coins in the middle of that table. Go ahead and get John Harbaugh. Ooh, go ahead and get John Harbaugh. And you will be the new Jerry Jones, because that means that you got Shedeur Sanders, you got one of the elite quarterbacks from the NFL that has history. And John Harbaugh already wanted Shedeur last year. Come on now. The Ravens had in the draft last year to see where Shedeur Sanders could have went. Of course, we're talking in hypotheticals because the past is the past. But I want to see where Shedeur Sanders could have gotten picked in last year's draft. Hold on, I'm texting my business partner. And one thing about John Harbaugh, I know I'm messing up that man's name because I got excited, but you know what I'm talking about. He is a closer. Oh, he's going to close. I understand. Come on now, let's put everything in perspective. John Harbaugh still would have been working for the Ravens if that kicker didn't miss that goal. John wasn't out there on that field missing field goals. And if you didn't know, he consoled that kicker after that game. Ooh, Baltimore Ravens at the fans at them up. They just as ruthless as the Cleveland Browns fans. But I'm just saying, I'm thinking too much. All right, so from what I gathered, these are the picks that the Ravens had last year. So at 120, they picked up a cornerback. At 262, they picked up a offensive tackle. At 393, they picked up an edge. At 411, they picked up a wide receiver. At 413, they picked up another offensive tackle. At 516, they picked up a running back. At 621, they picked up a quarterback. They did pick up a quarterback last year. But, of course, Shedeur Sanders would have been picked up higher than that. They also picked up a center at 722. At 725, they picked up a safety. Now, the only player that was picked higher than Shedeur Sanders was at 130. I think maybe the Ravens, I would love to ask John, what round specifically did you want to pick up Shedeur Sanders? Because that would tell us a lot how he felt about Shedeur Sanders last year. I really think, because according to these numbers, I think 130 was also in the 5th round. Okay. I mean, I still can buy that because they still had Lamar Jackson, and I already think they had a QB2. But John Harbaugh could actually get what he wants this year, and Shedeur Sanders is the Cleveland Browns. Go ahead and push all them coins in the middle of that table. and Shedeur Sanders will have a coach that want him, that we know for sure that wanted him last year and that would definitely want him this year based off what John Harbaugh saw this year. Because even if John Harbaugh had doubt last year, he know what he saw in Shedeur Sanders this year. Shedeur Sanders put it all on the table this year, despite what his haters say. Shedeur Sanders put it all on the table this year. John Harbaugh can get what he wanted last year in this year, and Shedeur Sanders can get a coach that definitely wants him. Now forget Mike McDaniel. It seems like I'm gonna have another video because I can't get all this out. But Mike McDaniel, like I said, sir, we don't want your services here. We're gonna have PTSD if you come in here with that losing record that was similar to Kevin Stefanski. No. I'm even having PTSDs even thinking about Mike, and I don't even know the man. I just know if Mike comes in here with that headset on, like Kevin Stefanski, with that losing record, what can he do for the Cleveland Browns? They're basically twins. So I just don't know. I just don't know. But Mike McDonald, you go so Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDonald. Well, I tell you what, y'all can fight over the Giants. But Mike McDaniel, you and Kevin Stefanski really just need to take the next year off, the next 2 years off, and regroup. But that $10 million coaching staff budget that John Harbaugh requests, I'll say, go ahead and put some conditionals in there, Cleveland Browns. Go ahead and hire this man, Jerry Jones. The Cleveland Browns is coming for you. Hey, Jimmy Haslam, this is your best move. You never had a Boston on the table like this before. If you get John Haslam in here and you got Shedeur Sanders, you will be the new Jerry Jones. Jimmy Haslam, I'm finna ping you on Twitter. I'm trying to tell you, go ahead and make this move. Just go ahead and put some conditionals in there regarding the $10 million salary budget a year. Go ahead and put a conditional in there regarding his own GM. We need Andrew Berry in there at least for the next 2 years. But for the next 2 years, and if it ain't working out, and if John Harbaugh is threatening to leave because he doesn't have his own GM, okay, I can see you moving Andrew Berry around in the organization. Don't fire him, but just give him another position and let John go ahead and bring in his own GM. So that's how you negotiate contracts. If you don't know, that's how you negotiate contracts and negotiate salaries and requirements that coaches come in or any candidate comes in. Negotiate, okay? We can get John Harbaugh, just negotiate. But I do like what I see. He was down for Shedeur Sanders. And if Jim Harbaugh likes Shedeur Sanders, he definitely should like Andrew Berry. If they had any issues in the past, talk it out. Get rid of it. As of now, we're trying to put this locomotion on the track so we can turn it into a steamroller. We want to turn it one of them super gliders that they got in China. That's what we want for the Cleveland Browns. So John Harbaugh, no Mike McDaniel, nothing resembles Kevin Stefanski. He needs to get this new head coaching position. Nothing. I'm having PTSD. I promise I'm having PTSD, but we're going to keep moving forward. Oh, so Jimmy Haslam, I'm going to give you another nugget. Sometimes you have to assess your portfolio, focus on your needs versus your want. Now, we all know you want that nice, big old brand new stadium, but let's put that on the back burner for right now. Go ahead and get John Harbaugh, give him what he needs. Go ahead and negotiate that contract. Go ahead and put some conditionals in that contract. And let's say in the next 5 or 6 years after you won 2 or 3 Super Bowls, that's when you go ahead and start building that stadium. I understand you want the nice shiny things, but right now we need to focus on this team. We need to focus on this head coach, and we need to focus on the coach that's going to give their best towards Shedeur Sanders and the whole entire 53-man roster. And Harbaugh, since you want control over that 53-man roster, we are not going to be upset if you make Jerry Jeudy number 3, so you can go ahead and get in a new number 1 and a number 2. I'm trying to tell you, John Harbaugh, we're not going to get sad if you go ahead and just wipe all the current O-line players out of oblivion. But do what you need to do. Hey, he has a winning record. Let's go ahead and get this man what he needs. Jimmy, let's go ahead and invest now. Deshaun Watson is only on contract for 1 more year. Go ahead and bite the bullet this year. Because next year, you're going to have so much cap available. You're going to be rolling in money. So go ahead and make that investment this year. You got to spend money to make money. Can you imagine what those stands is going to look like if you get John Harbaugh? He started working with Shedeur and they start winning these games. You won't even have the capacity for the parking lots. You won't even have capacity for the interstates. We'll just be coming down in the interstates, just having tailgates down the whole. They have to shut down the interstate because you can't hold us from stop coming in there and see Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. I'm speaking it into existence, Jimmy. And I want my coins. I want my consultation fees for 2025 and 2026. And you know I'm going to ping you on Twitter. Now you know I'm going to ping you on Twitter, and I'm going to give you the link to this video because I'm dropping jewels on now corporate America. I'm throwing you some corporate America hints. You already know what to do. You just need somebody like Tony Talks Vested Up to come up behind you and go ahead and push you over the edge and say, just do that, do that, do that. I see that, I see that, I see that. That's a good move, Jimmy. Hey, Andrew, hey, pass me that right there. Yeah, I want that libation right there. Hey, no. Yeah, sure, Andrew. We can negotiate my consultation fees too. Even if it's part-time. I got you, Andrew. I got you. All right, investors. I'll talk to you later. I'm trying to tell you, we talking about money today. And the Cleveland Browns can do this. I'm trying to tell you, the Cleveland Browns can do this. Hey, let me tell you one thing. Let's say next week, Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry is the next and the new Jerry Jones. The Cleveland Browns would take the NFL by storm, and they'd be like, Dallas Cowboys who? Jerry Jones who? The new history, NFL history books will be rewritten. But as long as you do right by Shedeur. John, don't come in here playing no with your rules with Shedeur Sanders. Let's not do this now. Let's not do this. So I was being serious in that interview process. Oh Lord, I gotta get Kevin Stefanski out of my bloodstream. Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, whoever's going to interview these new head coaches coming in, find out how they feel about Shedeur. Find out what strengths they like about Shedeur. Find out what weaknesses they can improve regarding Shedeur. Find out how, what players they would bring in for that O-line. What is their opinion regarding what pass protection Shedeur Sanders need as the quarterback that he is. We don't want to come in here with anyone that's going to come in and give us a generic O-line. No, we need an O-line that's going to protect Shedeur Sanders. And like I said, the O-line, the left tackle that I'm looking at is Fano from Utah. And I'm also looking at his teammate, Caleb Lomo. I'm looking at him too. We need a left tackle 1, left tackle 2, left tackle 3, left tackle 4. We just need it stacked up on that line to protect Shedeur Sanders on that blind side. All right, until next time, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Woo! Because it's Saturday, we vested up. But John Harbaugh is the one that I like. And I'll come back in the next video and discuss the other ones that I don't like and some other possibles. But I think John is the best choice because we know he wanted Shedeur. He wanted Shedeur. Plain and simple. He's the best choice. He is the best choice. John Harbaugh is the best choice. All right, and he's a hot commodity. You know he hot when that man said he gonna wait the next week to take any interviews. He already shown that he got the power and he know his worth. I like that, John. Oh, instead, I need to look up your side. He probably a Scorpio, But if that man is born in November, I'm a holler, okay? All right, talk to you later, Vesta. Notes today, baby, because we talk about that money. Yeah, we talking about that today. I got my notes. You can't play with that money, baby. You got to know where every penny and every dollar is going. Hey,